Relationships, hopefully, are about love. But really what sustains the relationship and what keeps it strong is how we behave within that relationship. Behavior is defined as how we act in our environment. Our behavior pattern or style can be assessed and is broken into 4 categories. How determined or driving we are, how much of an influencer we are, whether we take a while, are steady in making decisions, and compliance, whether or not we like rules. Behavior is observable, so it's not difficult to place our behavior into a certain pattern. And there are around 57,000 different combinations. So it's unusual for people to be exactly the same, although they may be similar, and in a lot of cases are different in 1 or 2 of those categories. Somebody may be more driving, more determined, and at the top of the scale, they're really egotistical. Whereas at the bottom of the scale, they'd be regarded as unobtrusive. Or you may find somebody who's very compliant and really likes rules. Hopefully your accountant's like that. On the other end of the scale, you find somebody who doesn't like rules at all and may not even understand or appreciate the difference between truth and something that's not necessarily true. When we assess our behavior, it falls into what's known as our natural behavior, which we all have, and our adapted behavior, which is how we change and adapt our behavior to be somewhat more effective. But adapting your behavior doesn't make you happy. The happy behavior is your natural behavior. And this has been formed at the time you were a young adult through all the circumstance and the environment you had when you were a child. Behavior styles and patterns can be plotted in graphs. And usually in a relationship, the idea is to place your graph next to your partner's and see where you're similar, where you're going to be in harmony, or where you're going to be in conflict. Sometimes having 2 similar patterns or similar characteristics in that pattern is not necessarily the best for the relationship. You may both be very high demanding people who are not interested really in giving in. On the other hand, you may be high influencers and both talk to each other all the time. And when you have a problem, all you do is talk, talk, talk. Talking a lot means that you don't necessarily listen. So you may be talking to your partner may be talking back to you, and the next day something happens and you say, I don't know why this is going on. Didn't you hear me yesterday? And your partner says, no, I didn't. And in actual fact, that's true, because people that talk all the time don't necessarily hear each other. So the most important thing in sustaining a strong relationship is to be able to understand and appreciate your own behavior, and then understand your partner's behavior, and vice versa, so that the 2 of you can work on these behavior patterns and either be accepting of each other's pattern or learn to take into account what irritates or upsets the other one. It's very, very, very important to learn and understand yours and your partner's behavior patterns. Love, it may not be enough.